go. We are live. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from the Snake Pit here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, joined by my co-host, Dakota. What up, Dakota?
What up, baby? Sorry for the audio issues. We're outside and it's fucking hot again. I don't know why we're all sick. But, dude, fucking coming to you live south of Atlanta, Georgia, Dakota Drake 4. Racing season's back. We had the Clash, and I think it's like, or we're excited this time around. We got Daytona coming up. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get it going.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in.
Rock flag and eagle.
Ew. What up?
So, let's get some comments out of the way. Let's go, Josh Berry. There you go.
Yeah, let's go, Fred. What up, Clay? You going with the Josh Berry train to the 21 team? I see.
All right. Fuck me, literally.
Oh my gosh, C-Bun is back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Hey, let me know in the chat. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I got a new mic. Really checking out my new setup.
I'm excited for that damn Traveler's Whiskey 40 car at Daytona.
Dude,
yep.
I saw the
Looks
actual
hot.
car and I was like, wow, this looks way better in the rendering.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I thought that one looked pretty hot. We're so damn back. Yes, we are. We are back. Also, the fucking Ty Dillon car.
Dude, that car looks sexy.
I was like, oh shit. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
I wish they'd put that in the 3.
Fucking
honestly.
Grizzly. Like,
yeah, if I get a Grizzly 3 paint scheme, that would be sick.
Ooh.
I'd buy merch. I'd go all out.
More just having like tobacco products.
More tobacco. We need more tobacco products back in NASCAR. Less pouches though. That's my thing. I'm not a pouch guy. And
I don't think I'd be a pouch guy. That's my only thing with like the Zenon. I'm like, yeah, but like isn't pouching for like city boys?
Yes, it is, dude. I see everybody posting about it. And I'm like, I remember growing up, and I'm not that old, that you would have got picked on if you pulled out pouches.
Yeah. Oh, dip like a real man.
Yeah. Oh my God. If I would have pulled out pouches, like even back in high school, people would be like, what the fuck is that? Like, do you have cancer? Are you dying? Like, are you in the hospital? So yeah, I wish we could get like the real stuff, but I think there's some kind of like law about that. Meanwhile, LTC is still in hibernation. I don't think it's hibernation. I think it's execution mode.
Yeah, are they still doing NASCAR? I know we're still friends with a couple of the boys, but I'm newly refreshed back to Twitter, and I don't know what's going on over there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't either. Not sure. So you let us know.
Yeah, peace and love to the Tennessee boys. We'll see you down the road.
I mean, yeah, hopefully we see you at some races. So good luck. We've outlived a lot of them, We're still doing
forever, dude. Apparently, yeah, we're still breathing. We've seen a bunch of comrades come and go down in the line of duty.
Here we go. One of the hosts apparently also doesn't know if it's still a thing. So that's interesting. Yeah. The season has started, so y'all should probably get that figured out.
Silent prayer request for our Tennessee boys.
We loved you. Do you want to talk about the Clash?
Dude, let's jump right in this thing. I mean, let's just go ahead and say the Clash was at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Yeah.
I know I've seen some like old like late model open wheel modified videos of like Bowman Gray, but I literally couldn't tell you where this is on a map. I know it's like North Carolina. I don't know anything about this track. Okay. I know like they got an open infield grass and like people get rowdy and mad here.
It's a football stadium.
So yeah, it looks like a football stadium.
It's where Wake Forest used to play football, and now it's where some small D2 college plays football.
I had no idea. So
in Winston-Salem.
I was always just like, cool, yeah. I don't know. I don't watch that, so I don't go.
Yeah,
there.
You like heard about it and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's a track. I don't know why it's called Bowman Gray, but
they were Bowman like gay.
But when I heard the Clash was moving there, because the Clash was already cease and desist going to LA Coliseum.
Right.
I like it was like, oh, we're only up from here. I didn't,
Right. Yeah.
anti LA Coliseum crowd guys here. I was kind of like, well, I mean, what's it gonna hurt going there? At least it's not in fucking California. It's on Show on History Channel. I totally wasn't like mad about it. I was like, sure, I guess that I like this idea better than traveling to California for some reason. For
like, hey, it's a real racetrack, so that's a good start.
For people that are probably going to give a fuck.
Right.
I have it playing here on the TV for reference.
Nice.
And I was totally like, oh, all right, nothing to lose. That's going to be cool. I mean, I'm not going, but I'll watch. Was not excited to watch the LA races. But this, I was kind of like, let's see what happens. I had no hopes. I had no expectations. I was like, let's see what happens. And boy, was I very, very impressed.
I mean, right out of the gate, too.
I totally was like, oh, this is kind of sick.
Yeah. I remember in the chat, we were all like, is this fucking awesome?
Yeah. I totally was like, am I supposed to like this?
Yeah.
Short tracks with the new car. And I'm kind of tired of, like, I keep saying it too. We need to stop calling this the new car. We're going into like our 5th or 6th season.
Oh, man. Don't tell me that.
We keep saying the new car is like,
yeah, right.
It's not new anymore. This is the car.
This is the car. Yeah.
Anyways, sidetrack.
Dude, we're still going to be calling it the new car when they announce the new car.
Yeah. What about this car? But I was totally like, wow, this environment is like sick. Kind of small crowd, kind of makes it like first come, first serve. Tickets
like
half
out. Bowled in.
Yeah, half bowled in.
Yeah.
The place was packed is like 17,000 or something. That's like a WWE ring,
standing room only.
Yeah,
packed in there.
And from everything we saw from friends that were there, their videos, they looked like they were 10 feet from the track. Like,
oh yeah,
like they're yelling at drivers, and drivers are right there, and the action, like the backstretch, it was like a football field. Like literally, like you're saying, it's like you could see everything. It looked cool, and I had no expectations because the short track package has kind of been dog shit,
dude. Even watching, like, seeing Denny Hamlin up on the hill. Watching
oh yeah, when they were watching the LCQ and they're all up there like just hanging out
because they're like, we're just trying to watch to see the bed lines and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty sick.
That's
like,
so cool.
They're not in an RV or like a hauler watching.
They just
on
walked
TV.
up the hill.
Yeah. And then like the garage was a parking lot outside the turn.
Dude, that was the funniest. My dad was like, wait, where are they gonna pit? And then it zoomed out and he was like, oh, it's literally just a parking lot.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I don't know, man. I totally didn't have any doubt. What looked coolest to me, which TV didn't really seem to do a good job of covering it, but who knows? It's Fox, so not surprised. The driver intros looked sick.
Yeah.
Everything I saw, the like red dim lights and like the fucking pyro.
Yeah,
and like
those red lights were crazy.
The crews walking out with pushing the car, and the drivers like walking next to the car, like, what's up? Helping push the car. I was like, dude, this is like old school short track.
Hyped. Yeah.
The stars are here.
Right.
And it was like, this
ready
is
for battle.
Sick. I totally was like, yeah, all right. If we're not gonna go Daytona and we're gonna do something like this, I guess this will do it. This will scratch.
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree. It was like not only just was like the venue perfect, but it was in a place that there's actual race fans. They weren't like, hey, let's find a new market and try to get celebrities and get people interested.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where do people care about race cars?
Right.
Like Winston-Salem, North Carolina. All right, fuck it. It was like watching watching late models, but it was for NASCAR Cup. Like that was so crazy.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
It was just so refreshing because, NASCAR has been trying to go after this new demographic and this new audience for so long. It felt like NASCAR was finally like, all right, dude, let's actually go back to our grassroots. Let's actually take it to the fans that want to see it.
Yeah, and I don't think this is a forever identity with the Clash, but it was like Bowman Gray showed how driver intros need, but yes, it looked sick on everything I saw. It was totally like we say NASCAR likes to take one step forward and two steps back, which they will prove us down the line.
They will.
But it was almost like, oh, finally another step forward, like sick. We're watching the Cup Series race at a local little short track. Like this is, and I was really worried like the drivers were just going to be like, oh yeah, Chase
Just
won.
cruising.
They were beating the shit out of each other. That was one thing. There were drivers like letting each other have it, bumping guys out of the way, which stuff we haven't seen with this car really is
Especially
like
on these short tracks.
dudes moving people out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Sunday
love to see it.
morning, I was at church talking to a dude at church, and I was like, "So what do you think, man? Are you excited for this?" And he was like, "To be honest, no." He's like, "I don't think they're gonna have the balls to like move each other. I think the leader's just gonna run away with it, and they're just gonna kind of single file, and it's just gonna be a nostalgia bait thing." And I was like, I totally get that take. I'm hopeful, but I do
can't
get what
argue
you're
with it.
saying. And he texted me like halfway through, and he was like, "Dude, I was so wrong."
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, man. I haven't talked to anybody that wasn't impressed with that race. I know Gluck's poll had like maybe 13 or 14% saying no. I'm guessing that's the Chase Elliott win had something to do with that. If I had to guess.
Yeah, we didn't even really talk about it. I wasn't even mad Chase won.
Man, when's the last time you weren't mad about a Chase Elliott win?
I totally, and then like his burnout was sick. I was totally like,
so sick.
His burnout was cool as shit, and I was just like, dude, I'm not even mad. Like, cool.
I was on my feet from his burnout.
Yeah, his burnout was like, badass. Oh. I was like, this felt like all old school and like badass. Everything was badass. I had zero complaints. Maybe there could be something done with the format. I kind of never really know what was going on. I was just kind of like, oh, there's an LCQ. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know how many were going in. Didn't know how many were going out. I didn't know. Fox did a terrible job telling us what was going on. But
right,
that's nothing
that's
new. Like I was watching, it was like Briscoe's out, and I was like, why is he out? I didn't know. I never saw him. I don't know what happened.
My only thing about the format that I would like to change is not taking the break halfway.
Yeah. I think we could have just kept going.
Well, we could have kept going, man. It's short track racing. I was really enjoying how that was.
And I guess that was like they let them pit for tires, but it was like, well, the tires don't wear on any other track we go to. Why are we pitting?
Yeah, and if you need tires, then just pull off and get new tires. That's on you. That was the only thing that kind of bugged me. I was like, come on, this is such a good race.
I've been fine. I would have been okay with like a caution, not like we stopped and took breaks.
Yeah,
no. Like you said, pull off and pit. Like I've been fine with like a caution. We're gonna do like 3 laps and going back green.
It's just such a short race that it's like we could have really just ran this thing straight through.
Well, I think it would have been good. That was the thing. This is my first week back listening to NASCAR podcast. Off season, I always like I shut it down. I don't want to hear shit, not talk shit. But like a lot of the main big podcasts have been coming out. So I like today was my first day listening to a bunch of them at work, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And I was like, oh, I didn't miss these guys. But watching them, we're talking, and they were saying the LCQ was like an hour and 40 minutes or something. Like, because there was a bunch of wrecks and a bunch of yellows. I mean, it was fun. But then the actual clash was like an hour 15 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
And the LCQ was 75 laps.
Yeah.
The main event was 200.
Right, 200. Yeah, so interesting.
It was almost half like faster than the LCQ.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was cool, but then like moving down the line, or what we got? I don't know if Fox
ever showed this, but after Burt Myers wrecked, he got into the safety truck, rolled the window down, and flipped off Ricky Stenhouse as they drove by during red flag.
They definitely didn't show any of that.
Yeah, Fox did not show it.
But everything I saw, it looked like okay, I'm gonna back up too. I'd have never heard of a Burt Myers, and I guess he was like an open modified dude. Didn't really care. I was kind of like, why is he in this race? But then he raced in. I guess he raced in. But it was also like, didn't they just say Mike Wallace isn't allowed to race in Daytona? But some IndyCar dudes are because they're famous or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
But Martin Truex isn't locked in. But this famous IndyCar driver is because he's famous.
Right.
Very confused there. But this Burt Myers is allowed to race the Clash. I guess we just make those rules up.
Yeah.
Chase's burnout right here. His burnout was sick. Yeah, I honestly was like happy for the Chase fans. I was just kind of like, good for y'all, man. Y'all,
dude, my Chase buddies were texting me, and I was like, I'm not even mad, man. Like,
you and I saw people like, yeah, let's go, and it's like, okay, like
Clash.
All right, I get it. It's been a minute for you guys. Man. Y'all are the scum of the earth.
You mean
but
RJ? That's the only one.
Yeah, let's calm down, dude. And yeah, good for Chase and the Napa fans, man. But here it is like, well, that was so much fun. They should do it again next year.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, is this just going to be the new Clash for the next 5 years? Or do they keep this on the road and go to other local short tracks? And I'm like, this was badass. I think y'all need to take this and keep this going.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you put Bowman Gray as some other race, is it the Clash? Is it not? I really like that idea that was floating around about make this the all-star race and make North Wilkesboro take a Phoenix date and move the Clash back to Daytona. I don't think the Clash has to be some short track bull ring thing like everybody's wanting all of a sudden.
I think ultimately getting the Clash back to Daytona would be the ultimate win.
I see it in like 5 years. They're gonna be like, it's coming back. Guess.
Yep. Yeah.
But we'll have a year full of like some good super speedway racing, and they're like, we need to make this a prohibition race, whatever, prohibition. But dude, I don't know, man. I don't like. What's the other rumor? They're talking about going to Brazil for the Clash. Where in anyone's right fucking mind does that make any
Why
sense?
does anybody want to go to Brazil?
Okay. Hey, you see how this Joey Logano had a sick interview. He was like, yeah, he goes, this was really awesome. I don't think anyone's complaining. This whole thing was great. It sold out the place. It was standing room only. You couldn't sell any more tickets because it was at capacity.
Right.
It's a special event. Everybody saw this, and they next year want to come to this now. Guess what? It's exclusive. When the tickets are gone, they're gone. It's going to be a hot ticket. Everybody's going to want to buy. Jack the price, or well, I didn't say that, but it's like
no. But honestly, that's what you do. Like if the demand's high enough, fuck it.
Yeah,
$500 a ticket.
Well, like supply and demand. Hey, it's a special event. Only a few people are getting in.
Right.
So then, it's going to be a hot buy, and why not run it back? Everybody's going to want to come to this. I don't know who in the fucking right mind's going to Brazil.
No.
And here's another thing: is like we need to go overseas and race where?
Why?
Yeah, we're gonna race in the jungle.
Why do we care about going overseas so much?
Yeah, I don't get that appeal, which was really fun.
I don't care about going to the West Coast, let alone another country.
I listened to Kevin's podcast, and he was like, well, he's like, I'll say this right now. It needs to stay in America. He was like, it needs to stay in USA. Why would we take our American racing series? He's like, you took it to the heart of racing America, and look at what you got. He goes, your diehard racing, short track racing fans showed up because that's what they like.
Right.
He was and those are the people that are going to keep your sport going.
Yes.
And Kevin went off on his podcast today. I was like, dude, nice. And he was like, why do we need to go chase this foreign fan? He's like, if they are fans and they want to come see it, they can come and watch. We have plenty of races through the years. They can come and see it. I don't know why we need to take cars.
It's on enough streaming services
to another.
Why
do we need to take our series to another country?
Right.
I do not understand.
Especially Brazil.
It blew my mind. Well, because Mamba, alumni of the show, he went off. It was like, I think we need to go overseas. I think we need to get out there to these newer markets.
Motherfucker just wants a free vacation. Chill.
Yeah. Well, I think NASCAR pays him also. So.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, dude. Kevin was like, no, it needs to be in America, in our country, and represent what we are.
Yes.
And I was 100%. Like, dude, yeah. And he was literally like, your local short track guys. He's like, that's who's going to keep this going.
And guess what? They also don't want to watch some road course in Brazil. They're
that
not going to turn that on.
Were y'all going to go to a parking lot and make another little LA course? No. Why is it got to be a little short track? I know this was fun, but like, why can't we do this anywhere else? Why can't it be at Daytona, first of all? But
I think ultimately the best decision. So look, keep it how it is. I'm more than happy. Don't go back to LA or any of that stupid bullshit. Keep it exactly how it is, and I am happy because the product we just got was awesome, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If it's like my dream come true, we get this is the All-Star, like you mentioned. Clash goes back to Daytona as it should have been the whole time.
Yeah.
And then North Wilkesboro takes the Phoenix date. On top of that, I'll go a step further.
Ooh.
We get a Rockingham Cup date with the throwback, like we discussed in the last episode.
Yes, I think it's inevitable. The Cup date's coming.
Yeah.
For Rockingham, me and who were we talking about? The only unfortunate thing, well, no, it was me and you. The only unfortunate thing is that's probably going to be right there with Dega. So that's going to like personally suck.
Suck for you. I can still make it.
You can still go. It'd be hard to pull off.
No, I get it. Yeah, it would suck for you, but I think ultimately for NASCAR fans, it would be a
Hell,
win.
drive up race morning. I'll drive up race morning.
There you go.
Make it a long day trip.
I think it would still be a win though, altogether for NASCAR fans.
For NASCAR, yeah.
And one more thing. Championship goes back to Miami.
God, that needs
the only date you get at Miami, and it's just for the championship.
I do like, even if it, like, I love it, would love it to go back to Homestead, but even if it doesn't ever go back to Homestead or anytime soon, is like, I think the championship track, that should be the only race it gets.
Yep.
I don't like that Phoenix gets a spring date and a championship date.
I do think it should be a mile and a half. I'm a fan
I think
of it
that's
being
fair.
a mile and a half because that's a majority of your schedule. So it's like, hey, if you're good at mile and a halves, you have a shot here.
Yeah, I do. I like that it always had it always was just its own day, like its own race weekend.
I'd be stiff for a Wilkesboro points
race. I think that'd be fine.
Stadium was full of drunk Chase fans and Eagles fans for some reason. Interesting. And that's funny because Fox kept showing Kansas City fans in there. Granted, they only showed like 2 or 3.
Dude, you know what was funny is I was watching WWE Royal Rumble, and I had the audio on, and then I had the Clash going on my second TV.
Nice.
And I had it muted. I was watching wrestling and watching the Clash. But I was mainly like watching Clash, listening to wrestling because I didn't have to watch every second of it. But I totally I was like an hour in, I looked group chat and everybody was bitching about Fox. And I was like, oh, well, yeah. So like when wrestling went commercial, I unmuted it and it was just like Clint Boyer said something immediately. And I was like, no, fuck this. Like I was literally yeah, don't care about this.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
Hot Rod, he's going somewhere. Oh, dude, we'll get here in a minute. NASCAR's new Tubi channel. It's been quite fun. Really? I don't know if you've got to dabble with it.
No, I have not dabbled.
They mainly I was like, I woke up with Nova the other morning, like made some coffee, let the girls sleep.
Is it free?
Yes. And I just was like, let me check it out. I'm a NASCAR fan. And I just pulled it up and they were playing, it was like live TV. They were playing every Clash ever. And like when that one went off, they played the next one. And it was sweet because they were only 30 minutes long because it was 20-lap shootout.
So do I just like download Tubi on my TV? Like
I don't know. Most things, like most little things have
like I got Vizio.
I think it's like already on there.
Okay,
like,
cool.
Like I have Roku.
I've ever clicked on that app
before. I have like 2 Rokus. Tubi was already on it.
Okay.
And then I have an Xfinity box out on the deck. And I just looked, and Tubi was already on it, so I just clicked it. And now the 1979 Daytona 500 is playing. They just like I turn it on, and it was broadcast in the day. It's not like, I mean, that's on YouTube too or whatever. But it's like this is like it looks like you just turn this race on.
Yeah, because they just fill the schedule with like random shit.
Yeah, right? And it'll just play. Like I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna play every Daytona 500 in a row on loop.
Oh,
but
okay.
They said they're gonna have. They said they're going to have like shows and stuff like NASCAR news. What's going on?
NASCAR built that huge new studio facility to like make stuff.
So I think like they're trying to mimic some sort of speed channel, but it's all NASCAR. And it's been just quite fun because instead of like, well, I want to watch that one fun race. Like you can be like, it's really like if you were just bored or like on a flight maybe or something, you just be like, well, what's playing? And you're like, I guess I'll watch this.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that because you remember what was that last year when they came out on their website with all the classic races?
Yeah, that was fun. But you had to like a couple of weeks of
me just you would have to select it, but I was just like burning through old races. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that was fun. Like I was just laying on the couch drinking coffee, and it was like the '92 Busch Clash. Yeah, fuck him and fuck that.
Are they really gonna start putting on stacking pennies on that?
That'd be get a paycheck somehow. We'll get to Coil of Joy in a minute.
Yeah, we do need to discuss.
But it was fun. It was like the '92 Busch Clash. Like I'm like I've never seen this in my life. Like, and it was on, and they were hauling fucking ass. And the car, they were driving the Luminas, dude. Dale Earnhardt's like, God, they're showing on board, and Dale Earnhardt's doing this shit, and he's like, he's sliding out the corners, passing people, and I'm like, dude, shove this up my ass.
Sexiest generation of any car in NASCAR.
And it was
those cars.
It was so fucking sick. I was like, oh my God, this is cool.
Also, we do need to discuss this at some point.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there was a bunch of beating and banging at the Clash. I love to see it. Guys were getting vengeance. Guys were spinning people, door banging.
And the cars took it very well, by the way. I liked that. You'd get put into a wall
spun out
and
kept going.
Yep. Yeah, cars were taking it. My dad was like, "Oh man, his day's done." And I was like, "Not with these new cars, man. These bodies pop it right back out."
Yeah, and then Ty Gibbs got mad at Justin Haley. And he came in like he went to like door check him, and like the whole car went airborne. I don't know what the fuck happened.
He must have his tire must have hit his tire, or something, because he just popped over him.
He did a straight bunny hop. It was crazy.
And
I think Ty Gibbs was probably like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
I still don't understand what he was mad about, because I don't.
Yeah, they were just beating and banging and stuff. I don't really know.
Well, I don't think Justin Haley even did anything. Because Justin Haley got hit by Joey Logano or someone else.
Yeah, it was like a bumper to bumper
that ran into him. So I was like, dude, he didn't even do anything. I could be wrong. If Connor's in the chat, he can correct me. But I didn't see what Haley actually did intentionally to Ty.
I didn't see it either. Hold on a second.
It's got the kids home. Ty Gibbs got mad for hard short track racing. Yeah, it was not a good look, man, especially when you're known as like the spoiled brat kid in the sport. Look, as an Austin Dillon fan, I had to deal with that image for a long time too. The last thing you want to do.
Hey. I was so angry.
The last thing you want to do if you have that spoiled brat image is act like a spoiled brat.
Right. Yeah, Ty Gibbs was pouting mad. The only thing is like I know he did like overreact a couple times and flipped out on some things, but it's like now forever, like the second he gets grumpy or bummed about something, people are like whiny grandbaby, crybaby bitch. It's like,
and it's just how it's gonna
be. He's not allowed to
get
mad ever again, ever.
Yep. Yeah. He has to play it cool like all the time, or just like throw hands. I think those are his two options.
And he will. Well, he will.
Yeah, you have to be a badass and just get out of the car and throw. Because at that point, people are like, all right, respect. Like, that's kind of cool.
But yeah.
And I think he's being sent in for a little talk with NASCAR. That wouldn't surprise me. That was a little excessive. I think it wasn't intentional to like run over his fucking car.
Yeah.
And it's short track racing. It's okay to bump each other. Like,
yeah.
It's okay to get mad. It's Bowman Gray. They expect you to get out and throw hands. So,
yeah, that is literally the only thing that could have made this weekend like a cherry on top is like there was some angry fight afterwards.
If there was a fight, that would have been just. But all in all, I mean, this was a huge win for NASCAR.
Yeah,
honestly, this is better than anyone expected.
I don't think it needs to be at Bowman Gray forever, but I think they definitely need to just re-rack it and do it again. I'm not gonna say do it 3 or 4 years. I could see it kind of losing its fizzle.
Like LA, they did 3 years. Could be another 3 year deal.
I think that like we need to sit here and chase this new. We need to go new track every year. That's the Clash, a new track every year. Like Kevin Harvick, he talked about like go to some of these local places. Go to like where they do the snowball derby. You know more local short track scenes than I do.
Yeah,
but like
Pensacola,
go to some of these little local areas and bring the Clash to them. And I was like, I'll take that over a Brazil.
100%.
Like, I also don't think that needs to be a thing. Like, we don't need to sit here and just go to all these little random short tracks. Like, I don't know. But then it's like they're always trying to make the Clash like the All-Star. And
yeah,
it's kind of like
their identities are pretty much the same at this point.
Yeah, to me, it makes the All-Star lose some shine.
Especially because Bowman Gray. Bringing back Bowman Gray so similar to when they brought back North Wilkesboro. It's like it's so similar.
We've kind of seen this. I like it, but
I like it.
Okay, at least you are trying.
Right, I like it, but I do agree. Let's keep it here for a little while. It was a success. Let's let this play out a little bit. Because I agree when we're watching the race and they're in the booth talking about where they should do it next year, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, we're having a successful event here, and y'all are already like, oh, what if we do it here next year? And I'm just like, why? Why even bring this up? Let's just enjoy what we're watching.
And they're like, should we have a points race at Bowman Gray's? Like, no.
Let's just enjoy this.
Yeah, let's just say it's like, don't change it.
Let's do this for a couple years, and let's see how we feel. Yeah. but we should do it next year. This is
Yeah.
what it should be next year. And I hope NASCAR understands that.
Yeah, they had practice. That was cool.
Yeah, dude, that was cool. It felt
Yeah.
like a full like weekend of racing there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun to watch practice, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, "Oh, are these the heats?" And then I was like, "Oh, it says practice." And then like they did a couple racks of practice, and I was like, "Oh, so are these the heats?" And I was like, "No, it's more practice." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, it
This
was
is
great
cool.
in the group chat when people were like, "Cars are back on the track," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, okay." I guess
Yeah,
I'll
I didn't
check
even
this out.
know. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Clash down the road. I don't know. The super big success. That's all I gotta say. No complaints
All
here.
around success. Good job, NASCAR. Keep it up. Don't you dare go to Brazil though, you pieces of shit.
It had me fucked up because our whole life the Clash was the weekend, they did have
Yeah.
it. It was like they'd have it the weekend before the Daytona 500, and that kicked off Speed Weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next Sunday, like
Yep.
you had it on Saturday night, and then Sunday you qualified for the Daytona 500. My whole life that was a thing. That was like, fuck yeah, dude.
It was right into the season.
Like
Yep.
you're like Speed Weeks. Like I
Yep.
was like, I know what I'm doing the next 2 weekends, bitch. NASCAR's back.
And
then now they're like, oh, it's a month before the Daytona 500.
yeah, we're like, okay, we're gonna take a week off.
And then like I
again.
was sitting there thinking, I was like, oh shit, I was like, Clash is this weekend. We're racing this weekend. Okay, I need to snap back in it. Like I talked about opening the book back up, and then I was like, all right, so the 500's no. Oh, I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, oh, the 500's in like 2-3 weeks. Damn.
Dude, I had multiple people asking me that. They're like, so Daytona's next week, and I'm like, no, Super Bowl's next week. You gotta wait like 2 weeks. And
Yeah,
they're like, what?
I'm like, who? What? Oh, the Super Bowl. Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, the 500. I guess I'll wait.
2 weeks.
Oh wait, and then qualifying's like on a Wednesday now or some shit.
Yeah.
So like, god damn y'all, like what the fuck? And they're still calling it Speed Weeks. That bothers the piss out of me.
Well, technically, for a lot of people outside of NASCAR, it is.
Yeah, but it's like 4 days. I love that it's a couple evenings.
Well, like, yeah, because there's a lot. Most of the racing world is down in Florida right now, because they still do a bunch of different types of racing, not at necessarily at Daytona International, but like tracks around Florida. So like in my line of work, that does still exist, but for NASCAR, it's just stupid. It's like, no, that's not what it is anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it used to be like a whole week at Daytona.
And that's the reason there's so many racing still to this day, because it was built around Daytona 500.
Yeah. And it's so cool. Like, as I'm sitting here watching this 1979 500, there's no catch fence on the wall. Just seeing the infield and like dudes drinking old Budweisers on top of their campers. And then like when they zoom out and like you could see just trees outside 1 and 2. And then like you can see like there's a beach, but it's like 70s condos and like a gravel parking lot in the backstretch.
Oh, man.
And like everything around the track is the 70s.
What year? So, what year are you watching?
79. The one.
Oh man.
There's a fight or whatever.
That's sweet. That's what MAGA means to me.
Yeah, it's so like. But it's just roots. Like this is the Daytona 500, but it's like there's some little stands in turn 3. It just looks like Bowman Gray at Daytona 500.
Right, dude. That's badass.
It just like it's like a time capsule. Like you're looking back at like this was the 70s Daytona, old Winnebago campers in the infield. The place is packed. But then like I'm like oh, there's a Bass Pro right there and a fucking Texas Roadhouse right here. And oh, there's that bar we like to go to. Oh, the Hooters
Dale's
is
first
right there.
500.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dale's in the 2-car leading right here.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
I mean, are you excited about this year's Daytona 500?
I think I got perked up with this Clash stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, dude, Daytona 500 is coming up. I don't care how angry or happy I am. Daytona 500 is the Daytona 500 always. Always. And I'm so like, oh, sweet. It's coming. But then I'm also like, I think like once like we get through this weekend and next week, I think I'll really be like, all right, let's do this.
I agree. I think mentally it's put a bit of a damper having to wait that extra week.
Yeah. I was like, all right, let's keep it going. Let's wait. You got to like, it's like hitting a pause button.
Yeah. Like the Super Bowl is this Sunday. and I don't really care, to be honest.
Oh no, I don't
I
give a
like
fuck.
football, but I'm just like,
Yeah,
I
I
could
don't.
care less about either of these teams.
Yeah, don't
I
care. It's
don't.
rigged. I told Felicia, she was like, "Oh yeah, my friend's coming over Sunday," and I was like, "For what?" And she was like, "The Super Bowl," and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna watch that?" And she was like,
Yeah, dude. We're
"Yeah,
having friends over, and it'll be on the TV, but I'm just like, I
yeah,
don't really think I'm gonna pay attention or
yeah."
anything.
That's what she said. She's like, "Yeah, I don't care who's playing. It's the Super Bowl," and I was like, "I'm like purposely not watching this Super Bowl."
Yeah, at some point we should just start to be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not watching.
That's what I was saying. I was like, "Oh, this is what y'all doing again. I'm good."
Because we say that a lot when we're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's the Super Bowl. You have to watch it. And it's kind of like, well, we don't have to. We could
Yeah,
just
that's what
choose
I
to
said.
not partake in this anymore.
I didn't watch the Natty because I was like, fuck those teams.
Damn.
I didn't. Well, yeah, Ohio State's gonna win. Guess what? Ohio State won. I didn't care about Natty at all. Yeah, I'm
I
so
predict
edgy, hardcore.
Jimmy becomes DNQ for the 500.
Who is the fucking dude I keep talking about? The Indy driver, or who's the F1 driver? Who? One of the open wheel guys is coming to race 500, and they already locked him in because he was prestigious. Is what it said or something. Junior, tell us. But yeah, and then like Martin Truex and Jimmy Johnson have to race their way in or qualify. Helio, yeah, Helio Castroneves.
Oh, did he put it in the comments? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I just Googled it. Yeah, I don't know him. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I know
we
who he
sound
is from Indy.
I'm
But
sure we sound dumb and like he's,
I
but
mean, no, he's good in IndyCar. He's an Indy 500 winner, like multiple Indy 500 winner. But they already said
I
like
know
he's
I
locked
know
in.
his face, I know of him, but I don't keep up with IndyCar, so to me
Yeah,
it's just kind of like
yeah,
I
they
don't
already
know.
said that those guys get a waiver or some shit. Part 91 for the 500. Yeah. See, so I don't really get it. I don't even know how to keep up with this charter stuff anymore. I don't even pretend to try. I
Yeah,
don't care.
what do we have any idea what's going on with 2311?
Uh, I didn't pay attention at all. Didn't care. But apparently, what I was caught up through the group chat was that yeah, Denny and them won, and they were like, yeah, y'all get to fuck, y'all don't got to sign it or something. They keep their charters, and everybody's happy or something.
They
Except
didn't
everybody but
win
NASCAR.
because he wanted like ownership.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't win, but they didn't lose or something. I don't know. They got charters, and
Okay.
everything's fine. Um.
So it sounds like Denny just kind of backed down and was like, "Can we just keep our charters?"
Well, I thought I saw that the judge favored with them. The judge was
I
like,
don't know
"Yeah,
how that would even be possible because NASCAR is privately owned. So like, what I still don't
dude,
understand.
I don't know, and
He's
I don't care."
he's trying to like go to a judge with a lawsuit to be like, no, we have ownership, but it's like, no, it's privately owned.
I saw it was something about threat of losing sponsorship because of the thing or something.
I don't know. I thought the whole lawsuit was kind of stupid. I get what Denny's
I
trying to
thought it was
do, but
silly.
also it's like, I mean, it's their company, dude. If they don't want to fucking do it,
Yeah.
like, I don't
I
know.
thought it was silly, just unnecessary distraction, and it was
Right.
kind of like, yeah, I don't care. Let me know what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
How's his championship feeling?
yeah, dude,
I
that's the
mean,
thing too.
added
It's
distractions.
Yeah, it's like at this point, man, especially with the way Logano won, is like I don't really even fucking care who wins the championship anymore.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think like we were already kind of dwindling down that pipe,
Yeah.
but I was already like now after Joey and everything that happened with the playoffs last year, I was like, yeah, I just want my driver to win every week. I don't really care what happens. Or yay, if he wins the championship,
Especially
cool.
especially
But
crown jewels. I care more about a crown
yeah,
jewel win than a
crown
championship
jewels
at this
and
point.
wins. Like Denny's kind of been beating on that door. Like I just want to win. I want to hit 60. And
Mhm.
like I'm like, yeah, that's a good goal. Like they change these rules all the fucking time until we finally are like, hey, can we change the rules? And they're like, no. And I don't really care who wins championship. I don't care about Denny has 0 championships. It's like, well, they've changed the playoffs 17 times in his career, so I kind of get it. Like
How would you okay, let's say Tyler Reddick.
Jimmy has or Joey has 3. What are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
So like what?
All right, let's say Tyler Reddick wins Daytona 500, Southern 500, and throw in one more race. What do you want? You pick.
Bristol night race.
Bristol night. Okay.
I'd rather
he
them
gets-
do that than win the championship.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
Daytona 500, like, if I had to me, like, the Daytona 500 is like, that's the one. Well, my whole childhood, that's what it always seemed. Now it seems like they're like, oh shit, I won the Daytona 500.
Yeah. But also, a lot of people take away credit from it because they're like, "Oh, it's all luck. It's about where you were." At
Yeah,
the
this
end,
racing these
blah.
days.
That's how everybody presents the Daytona 500, and it
I
drives me
forgot
crazy.
William Byron won Daytona 500.
Did you?
Like, I was thinking, I was like, who won last year? I was like,
Yeah.
was it Ricky? And I was like, oh, that was a year before. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, William
Wasn't it
Byron won
Harrison
last
Burton?
year.
No, that was Daytona. Harrison Burton.
Yeah, that was the August.
The other,
race.
yeah.
Um,
Because that was their
but
100th win, the Wood Brothers.
yeah, so
100th
then I was
win,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, Ross was coming line, Ross Cindric, William Byron won. And I was like, William Byron's a Daytona 500 champion. Totally forgot.
Crazy finish though.
Put some respect on his name. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish it would have ended under green. That's all I care
Yeah.
about the 500 is I hope it ends under green. I hate a 500 ended under yellow.
Yeah, let's not have rain, sunshine.
Though, well, they're saying, I mean, it's a long forecast, but they're saying the weather's going to be great in Florida next week.
I know, yeah, I've been hearing good
It's
things.
like
So
high 70s sunshine for the next
fingers
12 days
crossed.
there.
So
But
let's
it is
pray
NASCAR in Florida.
for let's pray for sun, good race weather, good hard clean battles, finish under green.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, super
I
excited, man.
think-
Daytona's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a little get together, have people over.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some friends over. But I do think a big part of Daytona 500 win not meaning as much is the shitty fans that just downplay the win because they're like, yeah well, when guys like Austin Dillon win it, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, it's only cool when they're people they like do it. That's what I don't get the hate on Austin's. To me, it was like the racing god's divine destiny.
I thought it was
yeah,
but
on
I'm a
the
little
day,
biased.
on the day,
Exactly.
fucking 20 years. Like you can't make that
They did
up.
the penny thing, the 3,
Yeah.
the same burnout. I mean,
Yeah, it was iconic.
and he moved fucking Eric.
Yeah, where's he at?
Yeah, of course he moved Eric. Like, get over
it, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a sick clip, the Ludacris song.
But
bitch, get out the way.
Yeah, I thought that race was awesome, and then the burnout was sick.
Oh
and
my God.
yeah, Austin. When people talk about Austin Dillon, I'm like, yeah, he's a Daytona 500 champion.
Dude, I
With
took my
respect
shirt
on him.
off outside and was whipping it around. I was living in an apartment, like it was.
Yeah, people were like, dude, that guy's on PCP.
I had my 3 flag like going out the apartment.
Woo! I remember with the year Kevin won, like it was yesterday. I remember I was flipping out, and I jumped across my dad's coffee table in the living room. I jumped across the coffee table and went running out the front door, screaming bloody murders, fucking like I just won the Daytona 500.
yeah.
And I fucking was like, yeah. I was like Dalton. I had like fucking Dalton when Kyle went to do it. I was like, yeah, motherfucker. Went back in the house and like me and my dad are jumping up and down, slapping each other like we just won the fucking Super Bowl. And I'm watching Kevin's burn out, and I'm like, oh my god.
Who do you think you are, Ryan?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, who the fuck is that guy? And that's how I felt watching Kevin win that 507. And it was just like that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We won it. We won the Daytona 500. Yeah, now they're like, haha, that was cool.
I was about to do a backflip for Dale Jr.'s second 500 win. Can you do a backflip though?
I remember watching Junior's first Daytona 500 win.
I know
that
I'm
was
just
fun
asking,
too.
'cause I
I
was
think we
about to
all
do a
like were
backflip. I'm
like,
just curious.
he did it.
Yeah, beautiful.
That one was awesome.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I remember like almost all the 500s. That's the thing that's crazy too. Is I remember a lot of races with my crazy.
But the
weird brain.
500s are.
But I remember
way
the
more
500s,
important.
and I
Yeah.
remember watching them.
I mean, there is something to it opening the season too. It's almost like
Yes.
it's more memorable because
Yeah.
you're like hyped for that first race.
Yeah, I've always liked that. They're like, oh, y'all do y'all at the end. All right, we'll do ours at the beginning.
Yeah. I like it. We have such a long season. It really does get you hyped for the rest of the season to get
Yeah.
excited for that first one. It's just so much different than any other sport. It's kind of hard to understand.
And then you
But
got
MLB opening day, huge deal. That's kind of similar where it's a very long sport and they hype the fuck out of opening day.
Yep. And then you have guys like Noah Gregson talking about he'd rather win the snowball derby than win the Daytona 500. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah,
That's not.
dude, even guys
It
that win
seems
the snowball derby are like, "What? No, that's
no. Yeah,
that's not true."
I think that I don't know what's going on with drivers in the last couple weeks. This like media session months,
Mhm.
but it's been like, hey, cut his mic. Like, what is going on? We talked about him earlier. This you seen the clip with Corey LaJoy?
Yeah, of course,
Dude, talk
yeah.
about career suicide. Like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, at this point, is it career suicide? He's just leaning
No,
into who he is.
yeah, he's actually just being himself.
Yeah.
I did see that like a bunch of like a lot of people in the industry, and then like even a lot of podcasts were like, "What the
They were
fuck?"
pissed, yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, okay, so fuck you. And yeah, we kind of get what you meant, but that's not how you say it. And I'd like to
Yeah,
see Corey, and Corey's like, I said what I said. And it's like, you're a bitch, dude.
right.
Everybody's
Yeah.
already hopped off your train, and now you just fucking loaded it up in the shop.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. He's never had a good attitude, and to, like, insult so many other people while trying to make your point is just a weird way to make it.
Full
Um,
Matt DiBenedetto route.
yeah, it was like the clip, what was it, with Ryan Blaney? When Blaney's like, "Well, I think what he meant," and then the I can't even remember who it
Yeah.
was, but they were
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Well,
it's
then
on
why didn't he
DBC.
just say it like that?"
Yeah, that was what's the name? They're the new DBC. I don't plan on listening to it, but they're scrambling eggs over there trying to
I don't
read
wanna
to it.
listen to a Blaney podcast, dude.
No, I think they had Blaney on as a guest, but it's
Oh, okay,
what's
good,
his
'cause
name? Tommy Baldwin. It's Tommy Baldwin's and
Yep.
Freddie Kraft now. That's DBC. Uh, I don't know. Even fucking what's his name got off. Brad Spotter. Why can't I think of his name?
Right.
Yep, him. uh,
I know his face. I know who
I
you're
can't
talking
think of
about.
his name right now. NASCAR brain.
Right.
What the fuck?
Anyway, I've never been a Blaney fan. You
I
know
know.
this. I can't stand when he wins. I don't like him personally. It's just something about him, dude.
Yeah, they put Carson Elledge on there. Why is she relevant to be hosting a
Oh,
NASCAR
yeah.
podcast? I used to think she was kind of hot, and then I was like, she kind of started getting clout for like absolutely no reason at all. And I was like, you don't just get to be famous because you're Dale Jr.'s niece. Like,
Apparently you
no.
do.
Well, and then I was like, oh, let's make her the host of a podcast. And I was like,
Yeah.
Casey Boat was old and sad, but like this was not the answer. And I was like, I'm just done with this podcast.
Are you gonna listen to his podcast with him and his wife?
Dude, I sent that in the group chat on this.
That's right. That was you. That's in
They were like, they're gonna make their own podcast. And that's what I bitched about Junior podcast. I go, why is
like
his wife?
toilet seat up or down?
Yeah.
Like, ah, ah.
I said, why is his wife always on this podcast? Like, who gives a fuck what she has to think about any of this? Guess what? She didn't grow up watching NASCAR. It's like, why is her opinion relevant of any of this? And then every podcast, Junior was always like,
I'd rather listen to his sister. She can host.
yeah. And then every podcast was like, yep, she tells me what to do. She says I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, so you're a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I can't stand too. I'm like, so you just want everyone listening to lose respect for you, or what? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I always got sick of him talking about his wife. I was like, dude,
me
I
too.
didn't.
To be
I'm
honest,
not tuning in to listen to this. I'm tuning in to see what you thought about the race.
Yeah, I've always kind of not liked that aspect of him, where it's just
Yeah.
like, well, that's how it's gonna be now.
Yeah, she wears the paint. She said I can only have one trophy in the living room. I'm like, what?
Who
She
paid
said
for the
what?
living room, brother?
Yeah,
Who bought that living room, my
she
guy?
sold you what? Yeah. What, dude? Oh my god. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll
What
throw up.
private jet does she fly on again?
Yeah. God.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um,
we're not gonna. This podcast will not turn into that. If for anyone listening,
man, shit.
yeah, we're gonna talk about beating them.
Yeah. Doing man stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We'll
Seen
come in
that.
with
You know that
power
like
tools next
be a
time.
man, the be a man guy was like, do this, be
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
It was like it was like pull in your driveway and sit in your truck and get drunk for 2 hours before you go in and see your wife and kids. Be a man. And I literally was like, oh my god, I do that all the time. I'll pull in from work and I'll kind of just sit in my truck for like 10 minutes. And I'll like kind of go through my phone, or like I might be on the phone or something. I'll end a phone call, but I'll be like,
This is nice. I just
yeah,
need to
I'll
sit
literally be
here
like,
very
all right, I'm
quiet
coming
for a minute.
home. But I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me just sit here for a minute.
Yeah.
Liz was like, what are you always doing out there in your truck? I was like, I'm debriefing.
Yeah, exactly. You know how like you cry to me about your problems?
Yeah.
I don't cry. I just sit quietly in my truck for about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, it was funny. But yeah, man, fucking Daytona's coming. You said you're gonna be busy out of town next week.
Yeah,
So I
next week
guess
I
this
think
is
we
gonna wrap it.
might have to miss an episode. So this was kind
And
of
that's
our
perfectly fine.
pre-Daytona rundown, post-Clash, pre-Daytona. We'll obviously do a Daytona recap, which is much more important of an
So we
episode.
should make some picks.
Oh shit, dude. Are
Oh
we back
shit.
that we're gonna be making picks?
Yeah, you better write these down. I got nothing to write on.
All right, I'll get my phone out. Why don't you
It's kind of
start?
sad because I got a folder downstairs I had like last 2 or 3 years of me writing in it. I totally didn't think this through.
We'll do 2025 Chairgatin.
Yeah. Oh man, we've
Okay.
been doing this a while now.
We have
And then when I
season
say that, I'm like, that's why we gotta keep going.
exactly. That's 100% where I'm at, dude.
Yeah. Been doing it this long, I'm not giving up.
All right, what do we
All right, so we'll do underdogs and we'll do fucking locks. And I guess playoffs last year doesn't count as a lock, and underdogs wide open. Guess who I'm gonna take as my underdog? He's got a new crew chief. They're doing great things over there. Got Kendrick's Alliance. I'm taking Justin Haley in the 7 car. That
Yeah.
boy gets rowdy at the super speedways. He's pissed off at Ty Gibbs. Who knows?
I like that. I don't know. This is gonna be probably a stupid pick. You know what? I'm going 80.
Hey, good pick.
Yeah.
Missed
Yeah, I
playoffs
was
last
gonna
year.
do
He
a
had to
weird-
win at Richmond. Daytona 500 champion.
Yeah, it's one of the few races and tracks that I'm like, you know what, he's got a shot. And you know, I know we didn't really talk about the last chance qualifier for the Clash, but he was hot in that race. He did look good.
Yeah, he was fast. I love that Winchester scheme.
Whew, man, that car is hot.
Yeah.
I think he is going to come to Daytona with something fast.
I hope him and Kyle get hooked up like they were 2 years ago, and like,
Right.
I have a
So
chance.
that's where I'm leaving that underdog 80.
And then my lock of the week, still feel like it could be an underdog. It doesn't have to be a top dog. I'm not going for low hanging fruit. I'm gonna pick.
I am, but you go.
I'd really like to see some paint schemes first. That is a real big
Yeah,
factor.
that's true. That's why it's like fucking a week out.
I
Here,
know.
I'm gonna
I'd
go
like
with
to-
my lock. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Denny.
No, it's not winning it.
Okay.
You idiot. No. Did you see?
Okay.
Dude, that's something we need to talk about before we get off. What the fuck is going on? He's getting the Kyle Busch treatment.
Yeah.
Denny's getting the old Kyle Busch boot in the ass.
Ooh.
The NT Holler, the debt relief fucking foundation car. Are we
Damn, that's a
serious?
good point.
Yeah, this is like bad, dude. It's like written all over the fucking wall. And I don't know. Denny's on his podcast like, yeah, this is how racing is. It's hard to find sponsorship. And I'm like, dude, you need to like start clearing out some space at your own shop.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
feels
could
like.
have something to do with him, you know, ruffling feathers with NASCAR.
Yeah.
And so
FedEx was like,
as a
dude,
team,
we pay you, right?
and as a team, they're kind of like, we'd rather just get some young guy that won't like question anything and costs a lot less. And you're very preoccupied with your own team, and yeah, I could see it. He should just take their third car. Why the fuck? I mean, whatever. We won't go down. We'll talk about 2311 later.
Ooh, who do I want to take as a lot? I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I don't want him.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want him. And I was like, I feel like it's gonna be a new, I don't want to say new winner, but like never won Daytona 500. New like it's not gonna be Denny's fourth. I think it's gonna be like a holy shit, his first win or his first Daytona win. Ugh. You know what? I'll take the 8 car of Kyle Busch.
Okay.
20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration.
Interesting lock pick.
The 8 for Dalton. Well, I wanted to pick Kyle already. I'm always so hot on wanting Kyle to win the Daytona 100, but he's running the zone scheme, and I don't like it, and I don't
I
think the
hate
car's gonna
that
win.
scheme,
I hate
dude.
that fucking scheme. That's why I didn't want to pick him. I was gonna pick Ryan Blaney, but I didn't want to pick him either. I kind of want Ryan Blaney to win a Daytona 500 because he's been so close so many times.
That's why I don't want him to.
I know you hate Ryan Blaney.
I do.
Every time Ryan Blaney takes a step forward for me and then 2 steps back. He's like NASCAR.
I feel like it's hard to explain, and it's like if I met him, I'd probably be like, "Nah, he's a cool dude."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I feel like it's kind of you with Larson.
Yeah.
You don't want to see Larson win. You just don't want to.
Yeah,
but right. That's how I feel with Blaney. I know Blaney. I respect. I know he's a very talented driver. Kind of the future of NASCAR. Something about him. I just don't want to see him win. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Fords will be fast again. Apparently, Chevys were supposed to get a remodeled front end or something. They talked about last year.
I think Chevys will be fast, but we'll see.
I could totally see just out of pocket winner. I hope it's somebody that ran good all night. I hope there's not like a late big one and it's like these 3 cars are still up there and they won the 500.
Yeah, as long as it's somebody that was running well. They don't have to be leading the whole time, but as long as it's somebody that had a fast car and managed to avoid some good wrecks. Yeah.
Hey, Tyler Reddick was up front at some of these super speedways.
Man, Reddick would have been a great pick, actually.
Yeah. I don't know what scheme he's running yet. Their new Beast Unleashed looks kind of same.
Hey, can you explain this to me because I'm dumb? The like duct tape over the Jordan thing,
dude. Okay, so the car actually looked cool.
No, yeah, but it's a thing. I saw it was on a video game. It's like a Jordan thing, right?
Yeah, but I thought it looked stupid. Like the car, all white.
Noah did have a 6 game, by the way.
Yeah. What up, Snake Wife? Noah's car looked pretty sick.
I like that 4 all of a sudden.
But the number goes on.
Yeah, it does. It looks sexy.
I thought the like unbannable thing was silly. Like, what are we doing? So
what is it though? What does it mean?
So from what I read on Twitter was back in the 90s, like, or I guess whenever Michael Jordan started Jordan Brand or whatever.
Right. Yep.
The NBA said
I think it was early 90s. Yeah.
The NBA says he can't. He said he couldn't wear his own shoes on the court or something.
Okay.
It was like a lawsuit thing or something. Like they banned his shoes. Like you're not allowed to wear these. Like conflict of interest or something.
Okay.
And so he showed up in his shoes anyway, I think, or something, and was like, "I'm
put duct tape over him or something."
Yeah, he put duct tape.
That's
over
cool.
his shoes.
I don't think it
was like it was an old Jordan story. Well, he runs these Jordan schemes from here and there. Some of them look pretty sexy, some do not. But every now and then he runs a Jordan scheme.
Yep.
And I think that was what they were just going for. I think they're doing like a 20-year rendition thing or something. I think he did this in the 90s.
Cool.
I think
scheme looked cool.
Well, I think Jordan Brand is doing like another like 25-year anniversary unbannable shoe line.
Maybe they should have like talked to Fox and been like, "Hey, can y'all like just like explain this to the fans though?" Because even me and my dad were both kind of like. Me and my dad were both kind of like, what is? Because my dad was like, hey,
because it looked cool, and then there was a big black strip, and you're like,
my dad was like, why do they have tape over his car? And I was like, I think it's something to do with the logo, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And
well, it wasn't real tape; it was just like a
yeah, I know. He thought it was. I was like, it's part of the. I was like, it's part of their logo that they're running.
Yeah, like it's on purpose.
And I was like, I just genuinely don't know like why or the story behind it, and I think it just didn't really land with NASCAR.
Speaking of being stupid,
audience.
When I first saw it, like the rendition, I was like, "What is that black bar? I can see the logo." I was like, I thought like they were gonna like take it off and like there's a new logo or something. I was like, I literally was like, yeah, I was like, I can see it. And I was like, what is this black bar? And then that was before like I heard the story.
I'm sure with sneakerheads it landed, and I'm sure with basketball fans it lands. It just was weird for NASCAR.
Yeah, it was that. But that Jordan Brand car last year, the black and zebra one.
Yeah.
That bitch was hot.
The elephant print, the elephant camo, or whatever they call it.
God, yeah.
Woof. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Daytona's coming. Can't wait to get this season rolling. Before you know it, we'll be 8 episodes in bitching about Coda or something.
Yeah, we will. But, fuck Coda.
We'll get episodes in when we can. It'll be fun, and we're gonna get this thing going.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.
See you after Daytona. Later.